And how's your pre-season been, and what's the plan for this week?
Plan this week is just recover from the game. Still a little bit sore. It's my first full hit out where I've gone absolutely balls out, so I was a little bit sore. Cramped up in the last quarter. It was pretty hot, but yeah, get a bit of recovery in. Train tomorrow and Saturday, and then get ready for round one. So pretty excited to get the season underway and get over to Port, who's travelling pretty well themselves.
How do you feel after playing full minutes? You said you pulled up sore, but to get involved in the play, it must have been a bit of a confidence boost end of the season. Yeah,
I was pretty confident anyway, knowing that I've done pretty much all the pre-season. This is the biggest pre-season I've had. I've done probably 90% of it, gotten through quite well, and been building through the game. So yeah, it was good to get up to Joondalup and have a good run around and get a full game in, and yeah, get a couple of goals on the board, which is nice.
It looked like the previous week at Lane Park, you got in a lot of good spots, but were a bit fumbly. You were really clean and sort of, I guess, almost a bit sparkly on the weekend against the Eagles.
Yeah, that's what pre-season games are for. Get all the rust out and fine-tune your game, and I think that's what I've done. Went to Adelaide and played probably 3/4 of that game, half a game the first West Coast game, a full game this weekend. So I think building into the pre-season is what it's all about. I've had pre-seasons where I've done injuries during the pre-season games. I didn't want to do that again, so I've just slowly built in. I think I'm cherry ripe going into the last week's game and then moving on to round one as well, so looking forward to it.
Ross said he had to remind you were a front and squarer.
Yeah.
What form did that reminder take?
Ross reminds me a fair bit of everything I need to do, which I need a bit of a kick in the arse every now and then. But yeah, he said just get to the fall of the ball, don't get past it, and sometimes when you get a little bit excited when you see the goals are there, you get past the ball and miss the crumb. So just bide your time and get the ball first, then make a decision rather than get too excited.
Has cleaner ball handling been a focus for the Dockers this year? Hayden, you look very clean on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. That's been a huge focus. We do probably 15-20 minutes every day of just pure ball handling skills, and as you've seen on the weekend, it's really paying off with our touch and one touch pickups and stuff like that. It's been a focus all pre-season, and it will be. I think you might have seen us in the gym, not in the gym, in the bicycle courts a couple of weeks ago, where we're doing a bit of touch. So we do that, 15 minutes just about every day. So it's clearly making a difference and an improvement in our touch.
And you've had some pretty significant hamstring issues over the last couple of seasons. How do you guard against a repeat of that?
I've only had one serious one. I've done plenty of small little niggly injuries, hammies, quads, calves, stuff like that. But the major one, the hammy, to be honest, I was in an awkward position as I bent over to catch my balance, and it just went bang. So it's not really much I can do to prevent it. I've been doing Pilates as an extra recovery form, and it's paying. My flexibility's gone through the roof. So it's definitely helped me, strength and balance wise. It's helped me immensely. So I'll continue to do that for the rest of the year. I used to tease Chris Mayne for doing Pilates, and now I'm doing it myself. So it definitely does work, and yeah, I recommend it to anyone with bad hamstrings.
How far are you off your best footy, Kate?
Well, I don't know yet. Last week everyone said I was pretty average, and this week I'm back in good form. So I'll wait and see. I'll wait till probably round 5 before we make a judge on where my form's at, I think.
Is it behind you, or you think you're capable of some of your best stuff?
Is what behind?
Your best footy.
My best footy? Well, I can always improve. Everyone can improve. Doesn't matter who you are. I'm sure Paddy Dangerfield goes out and tries to improve every week as well. So it doesn't matter who you are. You can always improve, and I'll be out there to do that. Play my role for the team and chase, tackle, and kick some goals.
There's a small army of pressure forwards gathering there now, isn't there? Yourself, Michael Walters has been there for a few seasons. Bailey Banfield has made a big impact pre-season. Obviously, Brandon Matera as well. Yeah,
definitely. And it goes to show last year with Richmond, they won the premiership focusing on their forward half pressure. So they had Jack Rewell, who was their focal point, all the little fellas around him, causing havoc and kicking goals. So whether we're going to copy them, I'm not too sure, but we'll definitely focus in on how they pressured and use that forward half pressure to score big scores and ultimately win a premiership.
Do you feel like there's room for all of you in the team?
There was on the weekend. Myself, Sonny plays a bit more up in the midfield. Brandon Matera, he's putting away and getting some good touch in. And Bailey, I think Bailey's a bit more of a mid-sized forward rather than a small forward, but he hits in, crumbs well, and tackles well as well. So there's definitely room for all of us. And well, there was on the weekend, and fingers crossed it goes into that round 1 too.
You mentioned Pilates. Was that something you've done off your own bat, or was that a club initiative for you?
No, that was something off my own bat. I've done yoga and stuff like that before, but it hasn't had the effect of what Pilates had. So yeah, I'll get in there and do that at least once, sometimes twice a week, and yes, work and a treat.
Were you concerned that there was a bit of a pattern emerging with your soft tissue injuries? Was that,
yeah.
Does that prompt you?
Yeah, definitely. I've always had. I don't think I've had maybe 1 or 2 years of my career where I haven't had a soft tissue injury. So if I can get them behind me, then that'll be really good for the next however long I play for. And that's definitely prompted me to get into doing something by myself off my own bat.
Probably 2014 is probably your benchmark year. Would you agree with that personally? I think that was your All-Australian year.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you can get back near that if you get a run at it with injury?
I think that's my biggest thing is injuries. If I can stay away from them, I've had obviously a lot of facial injuries as well, and there's a few plates in my face at the moment. And if I can stay away from injuries and keep up my form and front and centre like Ross tells me to, I'm sure I can get back to some pretty good form this year.
Have you learnt not to headbutt people's boots and knees, and when you're going into try and dive and smother? I'm
at the wrong height. I'm at most players in the AFL. I'm at about their shoulder height, so I run into their shoulders a fair bit, and that does the damage. So, tackling technique is something I worked on to try and save my head from copying the brunt of the force all the time. But if you go in a bit softer, you're going to end up getting more injured. So.
Hayden, we've seen you and other small forwards having to work up the ground and up and back, and it really takes a toll, I guess, on your body. Is there scope for small forwards to play a bit closer to goal, do you think, with the more small forwards playing in that tackling pressure?
No, I think that's just the trend of the way AFL is going at the moment. You have to be able to move across the ground for the whole game. I am a small forward, and I still cover 14 Ks on the weekend, so you've got to be able to run up and down all day, and with speed as well. Speed's the big thing. You have to be able to sprint and then recover from that and go again. So that's not going to change, I don't think, because that's what's required in AFL. That's why we do a pre-season, and yeah, that won't be changing anytime soon.
Just personally, do you feel like, I guess you've mellowed the last couple of years? You were always known as quite a feisty and aggressive player. Have you noticed a change yourself as you've, I guess, become an experienced part of the group?
Yeah, a little bit. Whether that's experience or whether it's to the fact that you get big fines now. If you get reported for anything, you get a decent fine. So hurts the back pocket, but and being suspended, I'm no good to anyone sitting on the bench watching. So if you get suspended, discipline is something that we're focused on this year. We give away a 50 now. We have to do a 400 at training or burpees or something like that. So discipline is something we're focused on as well. So no suspensions, no fines, and no 50s.
Things like that come from the group or come from Ross?
Yeah, a bit of both. The 50s it's a bit of fun really. You pay a 50. You pull the mickey a little bit in the review and say no more, because it can cost you a goal and ultimately a game. So something we're focused on is to not give away 50s and silly suspensions as well.
Hayden, what do you think this group is capable of?
Anything's possible. That's the fact of the matter. There's 17 other clubs out there vying to play finals and win a premiership, and we're one of them. So anything's possible. I'm not going to put any targets out there at the moment, but we're aiming high and we'll see where we land.
When you came through into the system as sort of a big group of younger players, you get feeling like you've had that again, another sort of big, talented group of young players coming?
Yeah, definitely. Over the past 2 or 3 years, a lot of good young players coming through. This year we've got some real quality blokes coming in and good people as well. So looking forward to working with them over the next however long that's going to be, and hopefully getting back to playing in September as well.
Do you feel like Brayshaw and Banfield in particular, who played on Sunday, are ready if they get selected to play round 1 against Port?
They played some good footy during the pre-season, but AFL footy, it's a hard ball game, and it's playing against Port. It's going to be hot. It's going to be fierce. But I'm pretty sure that those 2 blokes in particular, they're definitely ready for it. They've showed during the pre-season they're not scared of attacking the footy, attacking the player. They tackle hard, and so I'm excited to get out there and play with them. There's a couple of other good quality blokes. Lloyd Meek, he's going to be a good player coming through as well. He takes good mark and push forward and kick some goals. So yeah, excited for these young guys to come through.
You guys copped 2 clobberings at Adelaide Oval last year. Is that almost the toughest away venue there is in AFL footy now, do you think?
All the away venues are tough. It's tough to play AFL footy in general, but Adelaide and Port Adelaide are both quality teams. They've got their own home ground advantage in Adelaide Oval, so it's tough to go over there. But if we're serious about playing finals and winning finals, we've got to beat the best and play against the best week in, week out. So get over there, challenge ourselves and lay everything out there and see what happens.